This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Tuesday morning. I hope everybody had a good time over the holidays. Happy, merry, whatever the hell you call Columbus Day. You know, Columbus was a great leader. We don't think of and give a damn about Columbus. The only time we think about Columbus, the only time we think about our forefathers, the only time we think about anybody that's done anything for this great country is when it benefits us. Let's don't be so self-serving, people. I got to say, they tell you in the radio business, you sound better if you stand up. I got a hurt back, so I'm standing up now. I know you can't see it, but I don't think I sound any better, and actually, I'm not feeling better, so hold on a second, because I got to sit back down. God damn. Oh. Hey, if I'm not going to sound any better, and I don't know anything I could do to sound better, I'm going to go ahead and sit down and at least be comfortable giving me and you guys a headache. People, I got to tell you, this election crap, I want to apologize. I want to apologize. Not for being a no good, no count, low life, good for nothing son of a bitch, because my enemies will tell you that. Not that I'm a felon. They'll tell you that I got involved in this election crap. These sleazy, greasy son of a bitches, and I don't mean the guys that are public servants, the Roger Cooks, the Carl officers, the Ed Cockrells. I mean these Democratic bastards. And if they were Republican bastards, I would say Republican bastards, because you guys know me. I do not give a damn about either political party. I give a damn about the people. You've heard me 1,000 times. 5% are Democratic organizational people, 5% are Republican organizational people. Most of us are independents with either Democratic leanings or Republican leanings. So let's don't let all these organizational people pigeonhole us into either being a Democrat or a Republican. We're going to vote the person. And I think people are going to come out in droves this time. I think the apathy of people has stopped, and the want and the need to put this country in a different direction has started. You guys know which direction we're going in? The St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, these no good son of a bitches. They tell you, be for us. Be for them, my ass. We've been for them for 40 years, and they've done nothing. Mark Sweet Cakes Kern, this no good son of a bitch, is going to spend about $1 million, people. Do you hear me? $1 million. You see, he had ads on during the debate on Channel 2 and probably some of the other channels. Unbelievable. These guys are so desperate in 2016. It could be, people, with your help, it could be the perfect storm. Let's don't worry about if there's an R behind their name, a candidate's name, or a D. Let's worry about what they're about. And let's worry a little bit what they've done. And you know, and I'm far from being perfect. I made a mistake 18 years ago. I'm tired of saying that. They keep bringing it up, and I keep saying it. They're not telling you what they've done the last 18 years. And we're going to get into that, and I'm going to get a little self-serving. And it really bothers me to do this, but I'm not going to sit there and get beat up by these no-count rotten bastards. You heard about the pot calling the kettle black. Well, these are no good rotten son of a bitches telling just a little bit less rotten son of a bitch that he's a no good son of a bitch. If you follow that, you're better than I am, but you know what I'm saying. I got these guys telling me and telling you how bad I am, and these son of a bitches are worse than I ever thought about being, and that's saying something. You got all these negative ads, hell, the guy over in Missouri, Blunt, he ought to be in jail after hearing those ads, and his opponent ought to be in jail too. So hell, there's going to be no candidate for United States Senator. There's going to be no candidate for Congress. There's going to be no candidate for nobody. And you can always tell when it's a bad ad. It's grainy, it sounds bad, and everybody that they're coming after kind of looks like they're a fish, because they always get a picture with their mouth open, if you've ever seen that. And it's not a very becoming picture, as we all know. Now, my picture, on the other hand, and I got to say, these guys are slick. They put out the same hit piece on me, but I'll tell you how racist and how egregious and how nasty these son of a bitches are. They photoshopped me down in East St. Louis, had me in handcuffs, had me in an orange jumpsuit with my flag glasses on. Well, let me tell you, when they did take me away, I didn't have my flag sunglasses on. I didn't have my hair all combed, but that's okay. We do the same thing. We make fun of these politicians. But the egregious part was the one that they sent to East St. Louis had me as a bad guy, convicted felon, and I did make a mistake 18 years ago, and I fought the last 18 years to rectify that, and I think I've done a great job. Those guys, on the other hand, they want to tell you what I did 18 years ago because they don't want to address what they've done for the last 18 years. And what they've done for the last 18 years would put them under the jail. And you people all know that. You know they're covering each other's ass, just like Hillary Clinton. Anybody else, they said, I went to jail for saying I couldn't recall 150 times. Hell, she couldn't recall 5,000 times. Nothing happened to her. But it's when somebody comes after you, people, you know that. They're going to get you. And the federal government's nobody to play with. Because when they want you, whether you're right or wrong, they're going to get you. But having said that, they send out a piece down in East St. Louis with me on it. A nice picture. I thought it was actually a pretty good picture. They wanted the people in East St. Louis and below the hill to know that I'm white. Because they had a nice picture of Latoya Greenwood. And I don't think she's a bad gal. I just know how greedy the Greenwood family is. You heard the Griswolds and Family Vacation? These are the greedy Greenwoods in East St. Louis. She makes $100,000 plus minus for the school district that her daddy gave her the job for, that she's not qualified for, that nobody else had the opportunity. That job wasn't advertised for you good people in East St. Louis, School District 189. She's on the city council, $40,000, $50,000 a year. And if she gets elected to state representative, she'll make another $80,000, $100,000 a year. She'll have 3 public jobs that the public pays for, to the tune of over $225,000, people. That's what she'll be making. Now, Alonzo Greenwood, he didn't run anybody else against me, had to run his daughter. How much greed is that? And I just got to say on a side note, she is so good at what she does at the school district and the city. You know I'm being facetious. She's so bad at it. She won't even send her children to School District 189. She's got the money, though, people. You good people in East St. Louis, you don't have the money to send your kids to a private school, to Althoff, to a school $10,000, $15,000 tuition. You got to keep them down in East St. Louis, where her and her daddy have screwed up everything. You know, Latoya's fighting with the police department, fighting with the fire department. She don't know what to do. She listens to her daddy. And I think her daddy's in la-la land right now. But you know, if she goes to Springfield, she'll be bobbleheading for the Democrat. But it's so bad, people. Garrett Harner, he works for Lonzo Greenwood down in East St. Louis, School District 189. This no good, fat, cockroach sucking son of a bitch. And let's leave the roaches out of this conversation. This rotten, fat-ass, corn-fed, chicken-eating, plucking son of a bitch, Garrett Harner, the attorney at 5111 West Main in Belleville, he sends out a hit piece on me, and it's got a nice picture of Latoya Greenwood because it's down in the black area. Now, Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal Sprague. He sends out the same information on a hit piece on me. And it comes out of 26th East Washington. But guess what? That goes to the outer county. And guess whose picture's not on that flyer? LaToya Greenwood. And everybody knows why. They don't want the people in the outer county, my outer district, to know that she's black. Know that she's going to make over $250,000 a year. Know that she's greedy and her whole family's greedy. Know that she's going to bobblehead for Madigan, the corrupt Democrat in Springfield. But, you know, Sprague didn't want to put out that one because it'd be, well, why didn't you put out the same one? So he lets Garrett Harner, and Garrett Harner is the second in command of the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption. This fat son of a bitch. Now listen to this, people. You better understand what's going on in your county. And I got to ask the good people of East St. Louis, you let this white boy makes millions of dollars a year at the backs of the blacks in East St. Louis, and that's hard to say. And so does Sprague. Neither one of them, you never see their name on the ballot. But this fat, cornbread, chicken-plucking, no-good, cockroach-sucking son of a bitch. Again, I'm sorry for the cockroaches. Let's leave them out of this fight. This son of a bitch makes $400,000 a year for School District 189, a black school district. And he waddles his big, fat, white ass up to Belleville with that money. But now listen, people. This same Garrett Harner, second in command for the St. Clair County Democratic Culture of Corruption, he also works for Fairview Heights. Makes $150,000 plus minus. I don't have all the figures, but I know whatever the retainer fee is, people, they get that. And then when there's more work, and there's always more work, they bill $200, $300, $400 an hour. And they're not billing a client. They're billing you, the taxpayers of St. Clair County. But now get your pencil out. He works for Fairview Heights, city attorney. He works for Belleville. He makes at least $150,000 there. And that's their retainer. Then they get hourly after that. He's making $300,000, $400,000 a year at SWIC, Southwestern Illinois College. And he also works for St. Clair County, him and his whole firm. Now, they do the civil work for St. Clair County. Now, I asked the state's attorney, I've talked with people in the past, the state's attorney used to do the civil work. But now they're handing it off to Garrett Harner. You people know why. You add all this up, and I guarantee you he's making about $2 million a year at our expense, the taxpayers' expense. There needs to be an audit of all the jobs that this fat-ass, cornbread-sucking, shucking, no good, fat-ass, roly-poly bastard. And Garrett Harner, your attorney, come get me, you stupid son of a bitch. Ain't gonna hide behind Sprague. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? People, listen to me. You better get out and vote. You better get out and make a difference. Because they're screwing us at every angle. See, they hate me because I've exposed them the last 5 or 6 years. This no good son of a bitch. All the money he's making. And I asked the proud black people below the hill, can Alonzo Greenwood get a black man, a black qualified attorney to handle that? No, he's got to step and fetch for Harner. He's got to step and fetch for Sprague, like his daughter, LaToya, will step and fetch for Madigan in Springfield. She'll take her $250,000. And how egregious is that, people? There's a lot of people in East St. Louis, proud blacks, that never had the opportunity not to make $250,000 a year from the hardworking taxpayers. They can't make $250,000 in a lifetime. No jobs down there. LaToya Greenwood, her and her family have 17 jobs for School District 189, people. And you hear me down in East St. Louis, School District 189, you're going to vote for that lady so she can get another $100,000 a year so her daddy can get jobs from Madigan to give to his family and friends? 16, 18 family jobs in School District 189, paid for by you taxpayers that can barely pay your property tax and keep your houses. The county will come and get them. You know that. But it's unbelievable, the hypocrisy of all these politicians. We're going to talk about Boston, C.J. Barasivic here momentarily. How hypocritic is it? These no good son of a bitches tell you, do what I say, not as I do. But Garrett Harner, you can print all the hit pieces on Bob Romanik you want, but I'm not taking a penny from the taxpayers. You've heard me. If I'm elected, I'm not taking any salary, any benefits, anything, because I'm fortunate enough. I've worked hard for 40, 50 years. I don't need the money, and I will not take the money. But for Garrett Harner, this fat-ass bastards, this Kentucky Colonel-looking son of a bitch, and again, I want to apologize to Kentucky Colonel. He looks like he eats a lot of fried chicken. You big, fat-ass, greasy bastard. You're taking $2 million from the taxpayers, and you act like you're somebody. People know Garrett Harner, know what a piece of crap he is. I thought I had him in my house today. I took a crap, looked down before I flushed it, and I could swear it was Garrett Harner with a suntan, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. So Garrett Harner, you fat-ass bastard. Why don't you put your name on that? Why don't Sprague? See, they never put their name on it. It's always the Democratic Central Committee. There's no Democratic Central Committee. They've run all the good Democrats out of the Democratic Party. And I say this, people, I'm not just hitting the Democrats. I'm going to be hitting the Republicans momentarily. I'm running as a candidate for the people. I'm running as an independent. I'm on the Republican ballot, and I've told people, if you think I'm going to shuck and jive and bobblehead for Rauner, don't vote for me, because I'm not going to bobblehead for anybody. But if Rauner has something that's good, I'll vote for it. If it's good for the 114th Legislative District, I'll vote for it. If it's not good, I'll tell Rauner to kiss my white, hairy, stinky, wrinkled ass. And Madigan's the same way, who I despise. But if it's something good for the people that I represent, my bosses, I'll vote for that ignorant, no good son of a bitch. I'm not playing party line politics. That's what's killed this country, people. There's no party line politics. And Harner, if I'm wrong, you're good at sending out hit pieces. If I'm wrong, call me. Toll free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190. And people, do you not understand? We got to get rid of these son of a bitches that think they're better than we are. They're only better. They only live better. They only drive better cars, live in $1 million houses like him, like Harner and Sprague and these rotten bastards, because they take our money, our hardworking taxpayers' dollar. Everybody in St. Clair County, you may not have voted the last 2 or 3 elections, but it is the perfect storm. If you good people get out and vote, we can destroy this culture of corruption. And you're not doing all of us a big favor, and it is an honor if we get elected. We're going to do you a big favor, because we're going to clean house with these greedy, rotten bastards. We're going to do something about the airport. I'm going to help develop the riverfront in East St. Louis. It should have been developed 30 years ago, but the white boys in Belleville, they want to keep all the proud blacks on the plantation. I'm going to give you a fishing pole so you don't have to come back and ask me for some food tomorrow. They want to give you a fish, so you got to come back and beg them so they can take your votes. They can control you and your votes. We're smarter than that, you rotten bastards in Belleville, and we're not going to take it anymore. But Garrett Harner, I'll be talking about you. We're going to get freedom of information. But people, do you understand? He'd have to work 400 hours a week to make this kind of money. And he's behind the scenes. Every job he has, all this money comes from the hardworking taxpayers of either Belleville, St. Clair County, Fairview Heights, Swick, School District 189 down in East St. Louis, and no telling how many other municipal jobs he has. But he has them because he's a politician, not because he's a good attorney. Because that fat-ass bastard, I think it looks like he eats corn through a picket fence with them teefers he's got. You fat-ass, wobbly-pobbly son of a bitch. Drives around with the plate on his car, University of Illinois. If that's your only claim to fame, you ignorant bastard, like a high school kid. No good bastard. He's Sprague's boy. And I don't care how much money you have, Garrett Harner. When you're somebody's boy, that means you're their boy. You're not a man. And if you have a problem with that, Harner, give me a call. See, these son of a bitches will never call. They will never call. And I have to say, in parting, and I don't want to, I hate to bring this up, people. It's going to be, well, maybe not the last time, because it just pisses me off. These guys want to beat the hell out of Bob Romanik. I've had the hell beat out of me many times. People know I'm not perfect. People know I've made mistakes, but I don't think there's anybody out there listening that's perfect, that's made mistakes. But if there is, hell, this radio station must reach far, because that must be reaching to heaven, because that's the only man that I think's perfect. But some of these low-life bastards, they want to look down on us. But I'll tell you, Garrett Harner, Bob Sprague, Mark Sweetcakes Kern, you put all the hit pieces you want out on Bob Romanik that I'm a no-good son of a bitch, that I made a mistake 18 years ago. Isn't it egregious, people, that they're talking about me from 18, 20 years ago? They can't, because they can't talk about, they can't defend what they've done in the last 18, 20 years. But let me tell you, and I'll challenge all you bastards. And again, I hate to say this, but it's really not self-serving. It was all done for my son. But you no good son of a bitches. Who gave $25,000 last year to feed the hungry in East St. Louis at Christmas time? $25,000 of their own money. Bob Romanik did. You guys didn't. Who give $5,000, $6,000 to bury a few poor black people down in East St. Louis the last couple of years because they couldn't afford a burial? Bob Romanik did, not you greasy, sleazy son of a bitches. And my money didn't come from the taxpayers. Who kept the parks open? And all this was in memory of my son. I don't give a damn about politics at this point. I kept the state parks open out of memory of my son. Bob Romanik did, not Mark Kern, not Garrett Harner, not Bob Sprague, who take and take and take. Who brought 150 fans down below the hill when it was hot year before last? Did you, Kern? Did you, Sprague? Did you, Harner? No. Bob Romanik did with his money, not the taxpayers' money. And I can go on and on and on of the people that I've helped out. Who sent a poor lady to visit their family because she was on hospice and dying, wanted to see her family? It wasn't you, Kern. It wasn't you, Harner. It wasn't you, Bob Sprague. No, it was Bob Romanik. You no good son of a bitches. You can talk about me all you want, but I think people understand how evil you bastards are. And I didn't say that to get a vote. These state parks, none of them were in my district. When I buried these children down in East St. Louis, I wasn't running for office. When I give that $25,000 to feed the hungry in East St. Louis at Christmas time, 25,000 people of my money, I wasn't running for office. I did that because I can. I did that because I come up the hard way. I did that because I'm not a perfect person, but I'm a decent person. I'm not going to let these son of bitches drag me down and not defend myself. Any money they give, Kern will give you money once he gets it from all of his fundraisers. And as you know, I'm self-funding. I'm not taking a penny from anybody, so I won't be obligated to anybody. So Kern, Sprague, you guys sit at home in your ivory towers at night, and you can talk about Bob Romanik all you want. But Bob Romanik knows everything. I feed poor people every day. I know what I am. I know what I'm about. So send those hit pieces out, you no good bastards. And that's what you guys are. And I think the good people all throughout St. Clair County have understood that. Let's take care of our housekeeping. And again, I want to apologize. That wasn't said to make me look good, but I do it to make me feel good. And I challenge Kern. Give up $50,000. I'll take $50,000. And let's feed the poor. No, he'll put the $50,000 on his billboards, on big shot ads on Channel 4 and 5 and 2. He doesn't give a damn about the people of East St. Louis. He doesn't give a damn about the people of St. Clair County. And I'll tell you what, Kern, Sprague, Harner, you rotten bastards, I walk tall with my head up high. I'm not ashamed of me. I'm not going to let one incident define me as a person. If that's the way it was, you guys would be no good bastards 30 years ago. For all the wrong, all the corruption, all the hurt and pain you've bestowed upon the good people of St. Clair County. So you can look down on me all you want, Kern, Barasivic, Harner. You look down on all of us, all the good people of St. Clair County up in those ivory towers. We put you up in those ivory towers, you rotten, no-count, lousy bastards. And we can evict you from those same towers. And I think at some point in time, and I hope it's November the 8th, 2016, people, I hope I've got you fired up. I hope I've got you understanding what's going on. These are some evil, no good, corrupt bastards. They can put the spotlight on me every day, and I tell you, I'm not perfect. If you don't want me, fine. But don't give up a great candidate in Roger Cook, a great candidate in Carl Officer, a great candidate in Ed Cockrell. And don't forget Gary Cornwell running against Patty Roly-Poly Patty Sprague. If you hate Bob Sprague for what he does, You cannot vote him out of office, but you can send a message to Bob and vote roly-poly Patty Sprague out. His wife, he makes millions a year off the taxpayers, and he puts his wife, the unqualified person she is St. Clair County Auditor, one of the most important positions in St. Clair County. That's how greedy these son of a bitches are, people, and I hope all of you, Democrats and Republicans, independents, not the party Democrats and not the party Republicans, the 5%ers, because they're going to dislike all of us until we join their club so they can get elected, so they can have the jobs, so they can give their family and friend jobs. They don't care about the vast majority of us. Open enrollment. Millstadt Township Senior Services, located at 102 South Jefferson in Millstadt, on Tuesdays from October the 18th to December the 6th. It's open enrollment for Medicare and Medicare Advantage. You know, the good people in Millstadt, they always watch out for their people. If you have any questions, you'd like to make an appointment, you can call 476-3731. St. Peter's Church of Christ in Ferguson, having their annual trunk or treat from 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Come join us at St. Pete's. They're located at 1425 Stein Road and West Florissant Avenue in Florissant. Any information, you can contact 314-521-5694. Don't forget our good people in O'Fallon, the American Legion Post 137. They've got a good venue out there if anybody wants to have a wedding or whatever. And I say that not as a paid advertisement, but the good people in O'Fallon, they've always taken care of their community, a beautiful community. So everyone in O'Fallon I'd like to salute. Also, the Shriners, their quarter auction coming up Saturday, October the 22nd. It'll be held at St. Paul's United Church of Christ in Lebanon, Illinois. It's $25 for all-in bid card. $5 per bid card. It says bring your snacks, have a great time. It's for the Shriners, and you know what I think and what we all should think about the Shriners. A great organization. They always help out our children, and all proceeds will go to the Shriner Temple number 29, Daughters of the Title, working together to benefit Shriners Hospital for Children. If you'd like to get involved, donate, you can call 618-791-2729. St. Anthony's Indoor Flea Market in St. Louis, coming up Saturday, October the 22nd. Any information, you can call Marie at 314-352-0464. The annual Cancer Awareness Encouragement event to be held at 5 p.m. Wednesday, October the 19th at Joe Mann's Bar and Grill, a great bar and grill in East St. Louis at 3800 St. Clair Avenue. There'll be 50-50 drawings. A great time for a great event. If you need any information, you can contact Mrs. Lee at 444-7590. What else we have? Oh, don't forget, Halloween's coming up. Let's get out to Digger's Haunted Yard in the beautiful town of Mascoutah, Illinois. Wayne Laquette, we want to thank you very much. Every year he takes the time out to put a nice Halloween display. It's located on South Route 4 in Mascoutah. So, Digger, thank you very much for taking the time and helping the community. The Shriners also, Redbud Masonic Lodge, 427. They're having their Chase Monkman, whoever the heck he is, Memorial Sporting Clay Shooting event to be held Saturday, October the 15th at the World Shooting and Recreational Complex in Sparta, Illinois. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Herman at 282-3663. The Dart Meat Shoot coming up Saturday, October the 15th at the O'Fallon American Legion, located at 109 North Penn Street in O'Fallon, Illinois. And I want to salute, and I mean this, as they do a beautiful job, and I'm out there all the time, all the employees at the Jefferson Barracks National Memorial Cemetery in South St. Louis. You go out there, it's immaculate. Those guys, they do it for a living, but they do it out of pride and respect for our brave military heroes. So I want to put a shout out to every employee at the Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in South St. Louis. You guys, be proud of what you do, because you're taking care of our people who took care of us. So again, a salute to you. Want to thank Mayor Spicer and everybody from the Freeburg Chamber of Commerce. They asked me to come out and speak last night, and it was an honor to do so. had a great time with those good people. So the Freeburg Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much for asking me to come out. And I told them they better vote for me, because if not, if I lose the election, I'm going to Freeburg and I'm bringing my 3 cars without engines and my mobile home without tires, and they're not going to be happy. So I think they're going to do like East St. Louis. I think they're going to vote early for me, and I think they're going to vote often. I want to put a special shout out to a good friend. I want to say hello to Wyatt Leahy. I know his uncle very well, Ben Leahy, a great guy. Wyatt's 4 years old. His uncle says he listens to me all the time. So I want to say you're the top dog, Wyatt Leahy, 4-year-old listener from Jerseyville, Illinois, listens all the time on 1190. So I want to thank you very much, Wyatt, for listening. And I want to tell your uncle, Ben Leahy, you're not a very good uncle to let your 4-year-old nephew listen to my crap. But thank you very much, Ben. Grafton Rendezvous coming up on October the 15th and 16th, this Saturday and Sunday. It'll be held from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's open to the public. It's the pre-1840 dress. It's required. They have all kind of items that you can buy. It's right on the River Road on Route 3 on the Mississippi in Grafton. Great town of Grafton, and it'll be a great event coming up this Saturday. The Grafton Rendezvous, October the 15th and 16th. We'll talk about it more. I want to say hi to Michael Hazard. I met his beautiful granddaughters at Denny's. I want to say hello to him. And the Pancake Breakfast fundraiser coming up Saturday, October the 29th at the Grange Hall, located at Route 163 in Millstadt from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. $10 per person will be out there. It's for Mid-America Horse Rescue. Those people do a great job. Thank you very, very much. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling, for the best of all 3 of our great stations. Listen to my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM and KZQZ 1430 AM. You can go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper, or Bob Romanik for State Representative. And as always, don't forget the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. I've got a note here. I met 2 great people up in Grafton. They're from Mitchell, Illinois, and as always, here we go. Jordan and Amanda. He works at Cedar Creek Lumber in Mitchell, Illinois. They stopped by and saw me in Grafton. They said they listen all the time. I want to thank them very much. On this date, October the 11th, 1868, Thomas Edison completed his first invention and filed for a patent on this day. He was 19 years old. The invention was for an electronic machine to count votes quickly for the United States congressional race. It was successful, but the Congress decided not to buy the machines. Edison's first invention was his first financial loss. And you know what, that's kind of poignant, because these politicians don't want anything to count fast. They want to know how many votes they're behind, but so they can fabricate the votes. But hell, that was going on back in 1868. October the 11th, 1887, A. Miles patented the elevator. On this date, October the 11th, 1922, the first woman FBI special investigator, her name was Alaska Davison, was appointed. On this date, October the 11th, 1968, the first manned Apollo mission was launched. On this date, and this is a great date in history, October the 11th, 1972, Michael Gallion of Australia set a world's record eating 63 bananas in 10 minutes on a TV show. I mean, I think Mark Sweetcakes Kern would probably like to get involved in that event, but I don't think he'd want to eat a banana, but I think it'd be something similar in shape, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. On this date, October the 11th, 1975, William Jefferson Clinton and Hillary Rodham were married in Fayetteville, Arkansas. At that time, the future president was 29 years old and Hillary was 27. On this date, October the 11th, 1987, the world's largest pizza was baked. The pizza was cut into 94,248 slices. That's what happened on this date, October the 11th, throughout all these years in our world's history. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ, 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ, 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I had a caller call, and I've talked with Roger Cook. You people know Roger Cook. No, he's a decent guy. He's a Christian. Very emotional at times, like I am, and I think everybody is. When they're that compassionate about what they feel, what they're doing, they're going to get emotional. Roger Cook refuses to go nasty on Kern. Now, Roger told me, he says, Bob, if it's something negative that he's done in his administration, I will talk about it, but I will not have a schmut campaign going on. I will not throw mud. And I understand that, and Roger's a decent guy. But hey, me on the other hand, I love throwing mud, and I'll throw that mud all the time, everywhere. But somebody called and said, well, I don't know if you like to eat those things that are similarly shaped like bananas, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. He said, I think he'd probably like to sit on them. I don't know what the hell he's going to sit on them for, but I guess I would have to call the LGBT queer community to find out what kind of procedure that is. But, that's coming from Bob Romanik, and I am a crazy, ignorant son of a bitch. And I am also an equal opportunity political hater. I hate the politicians that label themselves Democrats. And I hate the politicians that label themselves Republicans. I don't hate the public servants that label themselves Democrats or Republicans. But again, people, I think if you sit down and think about it, most of us are independent. We're intelligent people. We're going to vote independent. We may have Democratic leanings, more Democratic than Republican leanings, or vice versa. But the only ones that want to pigeonhole you into being a Democrat or Republican are the organizational people. And again, the only reason they want to make you a Democrat or Republican so they can get elected, so they can get jobs, they can put their family and friends to work. It's been going on for 100 years, people. Let's stop it. Let's stop it on November the 8th. Now I read in the paper that Congressman Bost, and I've been over the Democrats, and I've been all over them, first part of my show. Oh, God. Congressman, it may be squirrel season, and there's a lot of squirrels out there, people and animals, but it ain't dog season, so let's be careful with that gun. But Bost rebucks Trump, stops short of rescinding support. Now, Congressman Bost, you can't be a hypocrite. Congressman Bost is saying that he's not going to really denounce Trump. He's going to support Trump, but he's got daughters, and I'm sure they're lovely ladies. And he's offended by the statements because he's the father of 2 daughters and the grandfather of 7 young girls. And I salute Congressman. I'll bet you he's the best father and grandfather in the world, or one of the best. I was one of the best, and I'm sure most of you listeners out there are also one of the best. But the congressman says what Trump said about ladies, and a lot of it was locker room talk, as we all know. He said something, Congressman. He didn't do anything. But you're saying that you're chastising him for what he said about women? Well, Congressman, I got to ask. You haven't chastised your good friend, Doug Jamieson. Doug Jamieson didn't talk about women. Doug Jamieson was charged with domestic violence, Congressman. He was charged with not paying $100,000 in child support, Congressman. He was charged with 2 DUIs, Congressman. You're taking his support. You haven't denounced Doug Jamieson, the St. Clair County Republican chairman. Now, you can't be a hypocrite, Congressman. I'm not saying you're a bad guy, but that's the problem. They all, and you've heard me time and time again, people, they all say, do as I say, not as I do. And no, I'm going to do as you do. Congressman Bost, will you denounce Doug Jamieson? All you have to do is go to the circuit clerk in Sangamon County in Springfield and see what he's been charged with. Domestic violence, had an arrest warrant, had a court order to take a psychological exam, and I see Doug Jamieson walking around with the Bost shirt on. I see pictures, numerous pictures with Bost and Jamieson together, shaking hands at the picnics, at the parades. I don't see you, Congressman Bost, and I'm not trying to make light of it, and I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm just tired of the hypocrisy all throughout this country. You want to denounce Trump for what he said, I understand. That's your prerogative. But you haven't denounced the St. Clair County Republican chairman. Don't let politics get involved in your convictions, Congressman, because it's not right. If you want to be a decent person, you have to be decent. You have to do decent. You can't chastise Trump for what he said 11 years ago and not disown and chastise and separate yourself from Doug Jamieson. But is it, Congressman, I'm just asking, is it because he can get you some votes down here and Trump can? Maybe Trump will hurt you, so you distance yourself from Trump. But you're going to be hand in hand with Doug Jamieson, the St. Clair County Republican chairman. And I got to tell you, Congressman, you're the only Republican they're supporting. That little group in O'Fallon, not the proud and true rank and file Republicans. That little group, and I heard it on national TV today. Somebody said they don't want Trump to win, the organizational Republicans, because then their house gets torn up. Trump will do it his way. And I think that's what the St. Clair County Republicans are about. They don't want to see any Republican people on their ticket win. They want to keep their own little house in order. And I know they're touting you, Congressman Bost. And I don't think you've done a bad job, Congressman. But please don't be a hypocrite. But now I got to flip the script. In that same article, here's C.J. Barasivic running against Bost. Bost, you ought to denounce Trump for what he said. You ought to distance yourself. You ought to ask Trump out of the race. CJ, don't you be a hypocrite. Because I say to you, sir, and I don't think he's a bad guy. I say to you, sir, how big a hypocrite can you be? You're asking Congressman Bost to distance himself, to denounce Trump, Donald Trump, for what he said 11 years ago. You hear what I say, what he said 11 years ago, not what he did 11 years ago? C.J. Barasivic. As I said, I'm an equal opportunity political hater. Don't you, sir, be a hypocrite. How can you ask Congressman Bost to denounce what Donald Trump said? Congressman Bost doesn't control Trump, but you're asking for him to come out against Trump. How can you, sir, say that? How can you be such a hypocrite? I think Congressman Bost, and I'll demand too, that you come out and denounce the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. The bastards have not been saying bad things for the last 11 years. They've been doing bad things for the last 20, 30 years. Will you, C.J. Barasivic, will you denounce the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee? Will you denounce the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption? Hell no, you won't. So I ask you, C.J. Barasivic, why the hell are you asking Bost to do something you won't do? See, that's the problem, people. I'll say it one more time. They want you to do as they say, not as they do. C.J. Barasivic, you know, Trump has said some atrocious, egregious, and filthy things, but the St. Clair County Democratic Party, the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, listen to me, they haven't said some atrocious, egregious, or filthy things. They have done some atrocious, egregious, and filthy things to the good people of St. Clair County. I think that makes a difference, CJ Barasivic. So do you understand? I give Boss crap. I give CJ crap. I'll give everyone crap that I think deserves it. You hypocritical bastards. You got to be honest for a change. And see, dishonesty, it's not just in the Democratic Party. It's in the Republican Party. They talk about Bob Romanik lying. These son of a bitches ought to be 5 foot under the jail. They lie more than I ever thought about lying. And I think we all lie at some time, but that's for another day. People, do you understand? These politicians want to dictate what we do. Now here's Boss telling Trump, I can't tell a man what he can say, what he can do. Roger Cook, Ed Cockrell, Carl Officer can't tell me what I can say and what I can do. And I say it all the time. Don't blame those decent people for what I say or what I do. You can't blame your neighbors for what they say or do. The only people you have control over is you and your family. And I would say your family, but you really don't have control over your family. The only person that we have control over is ourselves. But you'll see the Democrats and Republicans, don't like this one, don't like Trump. The hell with these polls. I'm tired of hearing these polls about Trump's this and Hillary's that. I think they're both bad candidates. But that's okay. We got to elect one. But don't let anybody tell you you shouldn't, you couldn't, you can't. Number one, that's your choice. That's your voice. You can weigh all the facts. But when somebody tries to tell you what to do, ask them, do you want someone telling you what to do? No, they always want to dictate to us, but they don't want anybody dictating to them. And I don't just mean the Democrats. There's enough shame in the game, you've heard me, to go around for the Democrats and Republicans. But this election, how nasty is this thing going on? You know, Sprague and Kern, they're going to throw hit pieces out on me, Roger Cook. I don't think they can throw any out on Ed Cockrell, because Ed Cockrell doesn't do anything but try to help all the people, Democrats, Republicans, and independents of St. Clair County. They're afraid of Roger Cook, and they know Roger's not going to go crappy on them. I was going to use another word. He's going to be a decent guy. I think he's going to come out and tell about all the downfalls of the St. Clair County Democratic Party, but that's not smut politics. That's just giving the facts. Now, these guys are going to twist the facts. I mean, the hit piece on me, there's some truth to it. There's a lot of lies, a lot of innuendos, but that's what happens in politics. You got to take the good with the bad. And all I'm asking you good people is to look at where I've been, look at where I'm going, look at what I've done the last 18, 20 years, and look what they've done the last 40 years. I really didn't want to run for state representative, but I'll be damned, I wasn't going to let them have a free ride so they could go up there to Madigan, steal the job, steal the money. Now Kern, because of good candidates like Roger Cook, Carl Officer, Ed Cockrell, Kern has spent over $1 million, people, for an $85,000, $90,000 a year job. Now he controls a lot of jobs, and people are giving him a lot of money because they want to keep the status quo. And I ask you, has the status quo worked for you good people in St. Clair County? And I say, hell no, it hasn't, and it's not going to. Kern wants another 4 years? He's been in office 12 years, people, and done nothing. He's got the billboards, got ads all over telling you what he's going to do. Well, I tell you, I'm not the most intelligent son of a bitch in town, but if he hasn't done anything for the last 12 years other than screw the taxpayers of St. Clair County, it's not going to get any better the next 4. I know it. You know it. So again, listen to everything I say. Listen to everything every candidate says. Research for yourself. Pull down into your heart, into your gut, and vote for the best person that you think will do good for you, your family, your community. And I got to say, get out and vote. If it's not for me, that's fine, but don't. And you've heard me, and I'm one of the most patriotic people in the world, and for you rotten bastards out there that say I take patriotism too far, you can kiss my white, hairy, red, white, and blue ass, because you can never take patriotism too far. People, get out and vote. If you vote against me, that's fine. But get out there and let your voice be heard. You heard me with Eckert last election in Belleville. 7% of the people put Eckert in office. That means 93% of the people didn't get out and vote in Belleville. Let's don't have that in St. Clair County. If the apathetic people get out and vote, if the people that have been beat down, we'll win 5-1. But that's what our opposition, the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption, that's what they're hoping. They want to discourage you. They want to beat you down. They just want their little organizational group to come in, and that carries the election every year. I think you good people in St. Clair County, and not just St. Clair County, Madison County, St. Louis County, Jefferson County over in Missouri, Clinton, Washington County. Get out. Exercise your vote, people. You are the politicians' bosses. So get out there and vote. Let your voice be heard. And for these rotten bastards that say your vote doesn't count, that shows you how much they disrespect you, because every vote will count. I just hope everybody understands that today, for the November 8th election, and for every election to come. That's what's happened, people. We've let these criminal bastards, both Democrats and Republicans, these politicians, we've let them taken our lives over, and nothing's happening. You wouldn't let somebody come in and steal your television without you wrestling them down and beating their ass. Don't let them steal our votes. Don't let them steal our society. Don't let them steal our hardworking taxpayers' dollars. Let's jump up and beat their ass, politically, of course, on November the 8th, 2016. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. I think we're going to be all over the cockroach-sucking, no-good son of a bitch, Garrett Harner. We'll ease into Bob Sprague, Mark Sweetcakes Kern, and all these rotten bastards. And again, let's take the roaches out of that equation, because roaches are a little bit higher up on the likable scale than the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. So, Garrett Harner, you Kentucky Fried Chicken eating fat-ass, roly-poly, stinky, stupid son of a bitch, making $2 million off the backs of the taxpayers. You hypocritical, racist bastard. Send a picture out of LaToya Greenwood in the outer county showing she's black. You ain't got the guts. See, that's what racism's about, people. Both black and white. Decent people don't appreciate that, don't understand that. They want to play the game. Hey, Bob Romanik wasn't going to play that game, but hey, I can get just as nasty as you, rotten bastards, so watch out. So let's continue. People, all of us, black, white, Democrats, Republican, men, women, let's unite together. Let's unite together before they destroy us. People, unite. Let's continue day in and day out. Talk to your friends. Talk to your neighbors. Let them know that it's time for a change after all these years. Don't let them okey-fadoki. It's not going to get any better until we knock down that corrupt house and start with a new firm foundation. A foundation not of Democrats, not of Republicans, but of Americans. So let's continue to expose. And on November the 8th, people, it's not too late. Get out, register, vote on November the 8th. Let's destroy these rotten bastard, political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians. Let's destroy them before they continue and will eventually destroy us once and for all. Let's destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.